So there we go, another week down, 2 books read, and I enjoyed both of them. It's been a pretty good week. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another weekly update. It only seems like 2 days ago that I posted my last weekly update. The weeks go by like days for me at the moment, and I think it's a sign I'm getting older, and I don't know if I like that idea or not. So let's start with what I got up to this week and with what I read first of all. The first book I read was James Herbert's The Rats, which was part of the Horror Mayhem project that I'm participating in with a number of different co-hosts, where we read works of horror fiction of 250 pages or under, and each week is a set theme. This week's theme was supernatural creature horror, and I certainly don't regret my pick. I had a great time with it. It didn't take me long to get through, and I go into a little bit more detail about the book in the last video I posted, which was the week 1 video. If you haven't seen that, do take a look. I do give my thoughts and impressions on the book and highly recommend it if you haven't read it. And it was just a blast really, and it was so gritty and graphic and cinematic. I enjoyed it a lot. So be sure to check out that video. Now the second book I read, now this one was recommended to me by my son, who for weeks now has been pestering me. He's saying, Dad, you've got to read Harry Potter, just read it. And I'm like, mate, I'm drowning in books at the moment. I have so many series to read, I have so many books to read, I can't fit it in. But he eventually convinced me, and I had been putting off reading the series for quite a number of years, and he gave me the push I needed to finally jump in to that universe and spend some time with Harry, Hermione and Ron and all the other characters there, and I don't regret it. I finished it a couple of days ago, and we even did a buddy read on it together this week. So he read it with me, which was nice, and we compared notes, and it was a blast. So thanks for the recommendation, Matt, and I will be reading more of the Harry Potter series, maybe not this month because I'm a bit tied up, but certainly in June, when I've got a bit more time, I'll be hopefully looking at reading Chamber of Secrets and Prisoner of Azkaban back to back. And if I like them as much as I did the first book, I'll probably read the rest of them back to back, because as of next month, and I mentioned this in a previous video, that TBRs, I'm going to do away with those for a while. I don't follow them half the time anyway. I can put a TBR video up and I'll probably read half the books on it because I'm easily distracted, and I buy books all the time, and it's not easy to pick up something different, and it's very easy to fall by the wayside and not follow the TBR. So I'll be just reading what I want, and you'll be updated enough in my weekly videos where I'll be going through what I have read, and I'll know roughly what I'm going to be reading the following week, so I can put in the weekly video what I have read and what I'm going to read with a fair bit of regularity there. So I don't think the TBR videos are working at the moment because I just don't follow them. So there we go, and I'm really looking forward to June, where it's a clean slate. I'm not going to have a pile of books in front of me for June. I'm not going to plan anything for June. I'm just going to read what I want, and the sky's the limit. I've got hundreds and hundreds of books to choose from, and really looking forward to starting that clean slate. That's going to be exciting. Alright, so moving on, what else have I been up to this week? Now, because I finished Philosopher's Stone 2 days ago, and I had a few days to go before the end of the week, I thought I would bend the rules a little bit and get a slight head start on week 2 for Horror Mayhem, where I started The Haunting of Rookwood House by Darcy Coates, the Australian horror writer. Now I'm 9 chapters in at the moment, and I'm having a really good time with it, and by the time I finish it, which will probably be mid next week, I'll post the video up straight away with my thoughts and impressions on it, like I did with week 1 with The Rats. And I think Darcy Coates writes very well, and with this particular book, it switches back from the present to 1965, where the key events that lead to what happens in the present, and it's a really good haunted house story, and looking forward to getting through more of it over the coming days. So watch for that video next week. So what else happened this week? Well, just today, my wife and I booked our advanced screening tickets for Top Gun Maverick, which is finally almost here. We're going on the 25th for an advanced screening session, and it's been 36 years in the making, and we had to wait 2 years due to COVID and delays and whatnot, but in a matter of weeks I'm going to be parking my ass in the seat and enjoying a cinematic experience which I've been looking forward to for a long time. I haven't been this excited about a movie since Avengers Endgame, and even with Endgame, I think I feel more excited about this movie than than anything in the last 5 years, I'd have to say. And I've got high expectations going in, and I've managed to avoid spoilers from people who may have seen it at the world premiere in San Diego a couple of days ago. But I have been I watched the Lady Gaga music film clip recently as well, which shows a few more scenes in the movie that aren't in the trailers, and I've watched the trailers about 20 times each. I'm just really excited, and I don't think it's going to disappoint with what I've heard. And even though this is a book channel, I don't mind saying that when I watch the movie, I plan on doing a spoiler-free review of the movie on the channel so that I can recommend it, and I think I'm going to enjoy it, and will not waste any time putting up the video and jumping in front of the camera and gushing about it, because I'm predicting it's going to be massive. What else did I get up to? I've been giving the channel a little bit of thought with some new material, and because I'm doing away with the TBR videos, I thought I would fill the gap with a monthly segment that I'm going to call Author Spotlight. So every month what I'm going to be doing is choosing an author to talk about. Now, it won't be a super famous multi-billion selling author like J.K. Rowling or Matthew Riley or Stephen King or Dean Koontz. I feel that on BookTube some of these authors aren't talked about enough. There's no one's talking about them, and I thought, well, I'm going to talk about them. People like T.M. Logan, for instance. He's a fantastic psychological thriller writer, and he's written about well, I think it's book 5 that I have ordered and will be here next week, and I'm looking forward to getting stuck into it. He's a day one author for me, and I've read all these books, and the format of the segment is going to be reviewing the most recent book and then touching upon the backlist as well, and a little biographical information about the author as well. And there's quite a few authors that can fill in the segments. For example, we've got Chris Carter, who wrote the really awesome Robert Hunter detective series. People like Louise Candlish, J.P. Delaney, Mark Dawson. I've reviewed a couple of his books on the channel, and I think it's high time that I do an author spotlight, but I want to be able to read quite a lot more of his books before I do that. But I think T.M. Logan is going to be the first cab off the rank, and I'll talk him up and promote him and make people aware of him, because he is a great writer. And if you're looking for your next great psychological read, well, I'll be recommending him and talking about all the books. So I think it's an exciting segment, and it's going to be new and fresh, and it just sheds some light on some authors that you may not know about. So there you go, guys. That's it for my weekly update. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, add some comments down below and I'll always respond to those. And until next time, I'll see you later.